to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading ninth Canto, chapter 21, the dynasty of Bharata, from text 1 to 36. Text 1. Sukadev Goswami said, because Bharadwaja was delivered by the Marut demigods, he was known as Vithatha. The son of Vithatha was Manu, and from Manu came five sons, Brahakshatra, Jaya, Mahavirya, Nara, and Garga. Of these five, the one known as Nara had a son named Sankriti. O Maharaj, text 2. O Maharaj Parikshit, descendant of Pandu, Sankriti had two sons named Guru and Rantideva. Rantideva is famous in both this world and the next, for he is glorified not only by human society but also in the society of the demigods. Text 3 to 5. Rantideva never endeavored to earn anything. He would enjoy whatever he got by the arrangement of providence. But when guests came, he would give them everything. Thus he underwent considerable suffering along with the members of his family. Indeed, he and his family members shivered for want of food and water, yet Rantideva always remained sober. Once, after fasting for 48 days in the morning, Rantideva received some water and some foodstuffs made with milk and ghee. But when he and his family were about to eat, a Brahmana guest arrived. Text 6. Because Rantideva perceived the presence of Supreme God everywhere and in every living entity, he received the guest with faith and respect and gave him a share of food. The Brahmana guest ate his share and then went away. Text 7. Then, after having divided the remaining food with his relatives, Rantideva was just about to eat his own share when a Shudra guest arrived. Seeing the Shudra in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Rantideva gave him also a share of food. Text 8. When the Shudra went away, another guest arrived surrounded by dogs and said, O king, I and my company of dogs are very hungry. Please give us something to eat. Text 9. With great respect, King Ratideva offered the balance of the food to the dogs and the master of the dogs who has come as guests. The king offered them all respects and obeisances. Text 10. Therefore, only the drinking water remained, and there was there was only enough to satisfy one person. But when the king was just about to drink it, a Chandala appeared and said, O king, although I am low born, kindly give me some drinking water. Text 11. Aggrieved by at hearing the pitiable words of the poor fatigued Chandala, Maharaj Rantideva spoke the following nectarian words. Text 12. I do not pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead for eight perfections of mystic yoga, nor for the salvation from repeated birth and death. I want only to stay among the living entities and suffer all the distress on their behalf so that they may be freed from suffering. Text 13. My water to maintain the life by offering my water to maintain the life of this poor Chandala who is struggling to live, I have been freed from all hunger, thirst, fatigue, trembling of body, moroseness, distress, lamentation, and illusion. Text 14. Having spoken thus, King Dantideva, although was on the verge of death because of the thirst, gave his own portion of water to Chandala without hesitation, for the king was naturally very kind and sober. Text 15. Demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, who can satisfy all materially ambitious men by giving them the rewards they desire, then manifested their own identities before the king Rantideva, for it was they who had presented themselves as the Brahmana, Shudra, Chandala, and so on. Text 16. King Rantideva had no ambition to enjoy material benefits from the demigods. He offered them obeisances, but because he was factually attached to Lord Vishnu, Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he fixed his mind at Lord Vishnu's feet. Text 17. O Maharaj Parikshit, because King Rantideva was a pure, always Krishna conscious and free from all material desires, the Lord's illusionary energy Maya could not exhibit herself before him. On the contrary, for him, Maya entirely vanished exactly like a dream. Text 18. All those who followed the principles of the king Grantideva were totally favored by his mercy and became pure devotees attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana. Thus, they all became the best of yogis. Text 19 to 20. From Garga came a son named Shini and his son Gargya. Although Gargya was a Kshatriya, there came from him a generation of Brahmanas. From Mahavirya came a son named Durityaksha, whose sons were Trayaruni, Kavi, Pushkararuni. Although these sons of Durataksha took birth in the dynasty of Kshatriyas, they too attained the position of Brahmanas. Bharatakshastra had a son named Hasti and who established the city of Hastinapura, now New Delhi. Text 21. From King Hasti came three sons named Ajamida, Tvimida, Purumida. The descendants of Ajamida, headed by Priyamedha, all received the position of Brahmanas. Text 22. From Ajamida came a son named Brihadishu, and from Brihadishu came a son, Brihadanu, and from Brihadanu a son named Brihatkaya, and Brihatkaya a son named Jayatratha. Text 23. The son of Jayatratha was Vishada, and his son was Syenajit. The son of Syenajit was Ruchiraswava and Dridhanu, Kasya and Vatsa. Text 24. The son of Ruchirishwara was Para, and the son of Para were Prutasena and Nipa. Nipa had 100 sons. Text 25. King Nipa begot a son named Brahmadatta through the womb of his wife Prithvi, who was daughter of Shuka. And Brahmadatta, who was a great yogi, begot a son named Vishwaksena through the womb of his wife Saraswati. Text 26. Following the instructions of the great sage Jaigishyava, Vishwaksena compiled an elaborate description of the mystic yoga system. From Vishwaksena, Udakshena was born, and from Udakshena, Balatha. All these sons were known as descendants of Brihadishu. Text 27. The son of Dvimida was Yavinara, whose son was Kirtiman. The son of Kirtiman was well known as Satyadriti. From Satyadriti came a son named Dhridanemi, who became the father of Suparisva. Text 28-29. From Suparisva came a son named Sumati, and from Sumati came Sannithiman, and from Sannithiman came Kriti, who achieved mystic power from Brahma and taught six samhitas of Pratyasvama verses of Samaveda. The son of Kritu was Nipa. The son of Nipa, Ud- Udgrayuddha, and the son of Ugrayuddha, Kshema. The son of Kshema, Suvira. The son of Suvira, Rup, Rupin, Rupinjaya. From Rupin, text 30. From Rupinjaya came a son named Bahuratha. Purumida was sonless. Ajamida had a son named Nila by his wife known as Nalini, and the son Nila was Shanti. Text 31 to 33. The son of Shanti was Sushanti, the son of Sushanti was Puruja, and the son of Puruja was Arka. From Arka came Brahmasya, and from Brahmasyava came five sons Mudgala, Yavinara, Bruhadishva, Kampila, and Sanjaya. Bharmasya had prayed his sons, prayed to his sons, O my sons, please take my charge of five states, for you a quiet component to do so. Thus his five sons were known as Panchalas. From Mudgala came a dynasty of Brahmanas known as Maudgalya. Text 34. Mudgala, the son of Brahmasya, had twin children, one female and the other one male and other female. The male child was known as Divodasha and the female child was known as Ahalya. From the womb of Ahalya, by the semen of her husband, Gautama, came a son named as Satananda. Text 35. The son of Satananda was Satyadriti, who was expert in archery, and the son of Satyadriti was Saradvan. When Saradvan met Urvasi, he discharged semen which fell on a clump of Shara grass. From his semen were born two all auspicious babies, one male and the other female. Text 36. While Maharaja Shantanu was on a hunting excursion, he saw the male and female child lying in the forest, and out of compassion, he took them home. Consequently, the male child was known as Kripa and the female child was known as Kripi. Kripi later became the wife of Dronacharya. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Pradeep Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Rasara. One second. Okay, internet got disconnected. Hare Krishna, Raseshwari Mataji. Please accept our humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Mataji, please take over the call, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji and Sundaranand Prabhuji, for giving me an opportunity to speak on the dynasty of Bharat for my own purification. Let us start with the prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharni Nirvishesha Shunyavati Pashyata Deshtani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So let us first understand the lineage of Bharat from which this dynasty arises. Bharadwaja, also called Vithata, was delivered by the Mar demigods. His son was Manu, whose sons were Brihakshetra, Jaya, Mahavirya, Nar, and Garga. Among them, Nar had a son named Sankriti, and who had two sons, Guru and Rantidev. Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that these genealogies are not just list of kings. They show us how devotions and dharma can flourish in successive generations. Even in a royal family, spiritual qualities can rise above birth. For example, descendants of Kshatriyas like Mahavirya's sons, Taryaruni, Kavi, and Pushkaruni became highly respected Brahmins due to their austerity, knowledge, and devotion. These lessons, the lesson is here is clear. Spiritual advancement depends on devotion, not birth. Birth in a royal family does not automatically give spiritual merit. Likewise, birth in a lower family does not prevent spiritual greatness. Now we come on Rantidev, the crown jewel of this dynasty. Rantidev is glorified both in this world and the next. As Srila Prabhupada explained, he is a living example of selfless service, unflinching devotion to the Lord. Rantidev never sought material enjoyment. He accepted whatever providence gave him. But whenever a guest came, he gave away everything he had. Let me narrate to you the one of the famous pastime of Rantidev. Rantidev once fasted for 48 days without drinking water. And one morning, food made of ghee and milk was brought to him. Just as he was about to eat, a Brahman guest arrived. Rantidev immediately offered him a portion. When the Brahman left, he divided the remaining food with his family, and just as he was about to eat, a Shudra guest arrived. Again, he offered him the food. Later, a guest accompanied by dogs appeared, and Rantidev gave them food with respect. Finally, only drinking water remained. A poor Chandal arrived asking for water. Rantidev gave him the last drop without hesitation. Even though he was on the verge of death and from thirst, he remained calm and joyful. Srila Prabhupada explains, Rantidev did not seek liberation, mystic powers, or material reward. His only desire was to serve all living entities, seeing them as expansions of the Supreme Lord. He said, I do not pray to the Supreme Lord for mystic powers or liberation. I only wish to remain among all living entities and suffer on their behalf, so they may be freed from suffering. This is the highest example of devotion and surrender. From Ranti Devi's example teaches us some of the important points. Number one, see God in all living entities. He recognized every guest, high born or low born, as a representative of the Supreme Lord. This is the essence of Bhagavad Seva. Detachment from material desire. He did not care for wealth, power, or survival when it comes to serving others. Number three is the most important is tolerance and patience. Suffering does not disturb a pure devotee. Rather, it is a means of glorifying the Lord. As Srila Prabhupada says, the devotee is never disturbed by the modes of material nature. He sees the Lord in all things. Ranti Devi's mercy extends to all who follow in his footsteps. He inspires devotees to remain humble, tolerant, and selfless. Now let me describe briefly the rest of the dynasty of Bharat Maharaj. So Bharat Maharaj's son Garga, from Garga was Sini, and from Sini was Gargya. Gargya was Brahman from even though he was the Kshatriya by birth, but he was a Brahman. Then came Brihat Kshetra, from Brihat Kshetra Hasti, and Hasti's descendants were Ajamedha, Dvimedha, and Purumedha. Now, Ajamedha's descendants include Brihadishu, Brihadhanu, Brihatkaya, Jayadratha, Vishada, Syanjit, and there were many more. Mudgala descendant had two twins, Devodasha and Ahalya. Ahalya bore Satananda, whose descendant includes Satyadriti, Saradvan, Kripa, and Kripi. Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that these genealogies show how dharma, devotion, and spiritual knowledge are transmitted through generation. Even kings through devotion and austerity can produce Brahmans and sages. This reminds us spiritual life transcends social positions and birth. Now, from the lesson of what we learn from Ranti Devi and Bharat Maharaj dynasty for our own life is, number one is we serve others selflessly. We should not expect any material gain or recognition. Number two, seek Krishna in all beings, whether rich or poor, high born or low born. Every soul is Krishna's expansion. Number three, we should endure difficulties with patience. Suffering for the sake of devotion purifies the heart. Number four is spiritual qualities matter more than the birth or status. Your devotion actions define your spiritual identity. Therefore, by following Ranti Devi's example, we can become humble, tolerant, devoted, devoted servants of Krishna, no matter whatever our material circumstances are. Hare Krishna. Mataji, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay.